Welcome back. This week we're going in focus on rural population loss in North Carolina. As rural areas of our state drop in population, local leaders are left to work through the population and demographic shifts that drop creates. In Raleigh, the state lawmakers who represent those rural areas are working to make sure their communities are still getting what they need and getting state help to grow again. Joining us now for more, State Representative Jake Johnson. He's a Republican representing Henderson, Polk, and Transylvania counties. Thank you so much for joining us.
Loretta, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
So, we have very differing rural populations throughout the state. Talk to me a little bit for you as a state representative that represents rural areas.
Absolutely. So I'm from Western North Carolina. So, there's certainly a lot of different challenges we face than Eastern North Carolina. And frankly, one of the issues that we're facing is the workforce issue right now. We have a large retiree population where we're at, and it's one of those things to where when you have a large retiree population, you have to have a workforce to be able to support the population there and run the industry there and run the economic sectors. And right now what we've seen is, as far as migrations go, when somebody graduates high school, goes to college, goes to community college, whatever it is, they're not overly inclined to move back to these rural areas right now. So really, when we talk about population shifts, it's younger folks that are from Western North Carolina that are going off to get an education or going off to do an internship or apprenticeship somewhere else. And there's not the infrastructure to bring them back to Western North Carolina. And that's where we run into things like water, sewer, and internet being the big drivers to get people back to our rural populations.
So I would imagine that the local leaders out in that area, that this is what they're talking to you about, is how can we make sure we have all of those things?
Oh, absolutely. And our job in putting together a state budget is how do we keep this economy moving forward. My basic economic principle is you cannot have an economy that's sitting still. You cannot have an economy that is in neutral. You've either got to be in forward or you are going to be in reverse. Our theory is when we received a lot of this one-time money in the last state budget was, instead of investing in things that are, going to go away after 2 or 3 years and, maybe they'll get refunded, maybe they won't, let's invest in infrastructure. And broadband was a huge part of that. We know that when these kids go off to college or, they go work in a Charlotte or Raleigh, somewhere else, they're used to being on the grid. They're used to being connected, being able to get online, socialize with their friends, things like that. When they come back home to Western North Carolina, they're kind of off the grid per se. So we wanted to invest in things like rural broadband so that our hospitals can participate in telehealth, our schools can go online if need be, and a kid from Western North Carolina has the same access as someone from Charlotte or Raleigh to be able to get on and do their homework, take a quiz, participate in a forum online, and then also just someone looking to work from home. Obviously the past 2 years we've seen a huge shift in jobs going online, which is actually good for our rural areas because a lot of people want to live in those rural areas. They just can't because that's not where the industry is. Now, this gives them the option to live there. We've just got to make sure they have the internet access to do it.
You mentioned the telehealth, but healthcare in general in rural areas, especially when there's just not as many people to treat out there, you don't see as many doctors going out to those areas.
Oh, absolutely, and that telehealth becomes even more important. And I said we've got a large retiree population in a lot of our rural areas. Maybe they've worked their entire careers in an urban area, and now they want to retire to a more rural area, enjoy the mountains and the streams and the fishing and things like that. But if they're not able to participate in that telehealth, that's a huge deal to deter movement there. And again, we don't want to change the landscape. We don't want to change the small town feel of it. But we certainly want to give people the option to participate in those things.
When we talk about the small town feel that we see in these rural areas, there are so many small businesses. You can't drive through one of these small towns and not see a lot of these mom and pop shops there. And we say it in general that our economy is based on small business, but in rural communities, it really is.
That's right. And I was talking with someone earlier saying, I didn't like history in school. I did not enjoy history in school. But the older I get, the more I enjoy history. And one of my favorite parts of history is just the migrations over time of populations and globalization and things like that. As far as the United States goes, for a lot of our southern states, what's happened is, during the Industrial Revolution, you had a lot of people moving from the small town rural areas to the cities because that's where the work was. We saw a little bit of disbursement back to the rural areas when we had things like textile manufacturing, a lot of that going on in the state. But now it seems like we've almost kind of went backwards, and a lot of that has shut down. So you saw people, flee back to the cities. Well, now we've seen almost a revitalization of our rural small towns in North Carolina. And I'll give a good example out where we're at in Polk County. You're Tryon, Columbus, Saluda, right next door, Rutherfordton, Forest City, Spindale, Lake Lure, Chimney Rock. Those areas like that. You go down there on a Saturday, you're going to have a hard time finding a parking spot. And that's a good thing because people are spending money there that is being reinvested back into the tax base. But when somebody goes, I'd like to call this place home. This fits my, the vibe I want to live in. We want to make sure the infrastructure is there for them to make that decision. And when a kid wants to come home from going to college, we want to make sure there's the infrastructure there for them to move to.
This whole show we've been talking about how the rural communities are really spread across their state. And in all honesty, most of our state representatives, state senators are actually representing rural areas in the state. And so there's a lot of strong voices.
There's a lot of voices. There's a lot of voices out there.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. It's certainly a lot to look at for the rural communities here in North Carolina.
No, and there's a lot to look forward to, Loretta. We're really excited. We've seen a huge investment in infrastructure, and we certainly think North Carolina, we want to make it the best place to live, work, and play, so we're going to keep doing it.
Okay, and we want to thank you for joining our conversation as we focus in on the big issues in North Carolina. We'll see you back here next week for another edition